everyone, it's Melissa. Today's video it was sort of supposed to be an accumulation of the past couple of days. I filmed a whole bunch out and about doing Christmas stuff with some of my family. And, you know, we had a good time, but I looked at the footage and it showed a lot of street names and a lot of things in town, and my kids asked me, please don't put that up. So I kind of have to respect that, so I'm not going to. So what I'm going to do, I can't show the town I live in, but I will tell you some things about it. It is in East Tennessee. Doug was actually born in this town. He's lived here his whole life. I actually grew up on the other side of Chattanooga down toward Alabama more, and but we watched the same TV shows as children, and we were both on a show, a local Chattanooga show, when we were both kids. Of course, we did not know each other. But Doug was born here. It's a small town. The population in 2020 was 14,000, so it is considered a small town. The town that I lived in Tennessee was about 3,000 people, so it was much, much smaller. But it's a town, it's an old town. It has beautiful old brick buildings, and the brick have faded advertisements where they used to paint advertisements on the side of the buildings, you know, Maxwell House, good to the last drop, or Smoke Salem, or, you know, things like that. You can still see the remnants of those. It has a strong theater and art presence here. We have a great theater program. My daughter and son-in-law are very involved in it. Some of my grandchildren act in plays, local plays, as do my daughter and my son-in-law. Let's see. As I look out my street, I live on one of the oldest streets in town. It's got very mature trees. I've shown my street before. It's got very old trees because it has been here, so, you know, for quite a while. It's a typical town of thousands and thousands of other towns across this country. We have Christmas parades. We do fireworks on the 4th of July. We have cookouts in the summer. I live in an area that has a lot of natural resources. Mountains are around, kayaking and streams, and whitewater rafting is close by. The Olympics when the Olympics were in Atlanta, they used part of an area close to me for their whitewater rafting competition. Lots of hiking trails. My brother hikes a whole lot and camps a whole lot. So he takes advantage of it. We don't as much as we should, but we need to, when we get less busy, make sure that we do that, because it is a beautiful area to live in. Doug and I have a bit of a connection to the downtown. The house that we live in now was built in the 1800s by a man who had, and we live close to the downtown, by a man who had a dry goods store down there. I guess that was like the 1800s version of Walmart. You could go in there and you could buy thread and material and, you know, powder or anything. You could buy all kinds of things in a dry goods store. So he owned it downtown in this real old building. And so Doug's dream was always, we owned the man's house that he built, and he wanted to own the building that he had his store in. That was never to be, unfortunately, because a couple of years ago it burnt down. And Doug and I stood in his office. It was across the street, and we just stood there and watched it burn. So that was very sad, because we love old buildings and we love history things. So the town, Doug has always lived here, and the town has very much become my town. I can't think of anything else to say about it, but what I'll do is now go downstairs. I've got lots of things to do. You know how you have those days where you need to just catch up on everything right before Christmas. Okay, what shopping do I still have to do? Boy, I better get started wrapping those presents. Let me make a plan for the party we're having, because we are having a party on the 23rd for the whole family and extended family. In fact, I still need to notify a few people. We will have anywhere from 25 to 30 people. we will, I will do a bunch of boards on the dining room table. I'll do a cheese board and I'll do a meat board, and we're getting a ham, and a lot of times he will do prime rib. I'll have bread, all different kinds of breads and crackers and dips and chips and salads and veg plates and fruit plates and dried fruit and nuts and everything you can think of that I can throw on these boards. I will do that. And then what we'll do is people will mingle around and get their food as they, visit with people and stuff. Oh, we'll have hot drinks and cold drinks and wine and booze and, whatever you can think of. And so people will mill around, and then we will do a white elephant, where you have the gift exchange, where you can keep that gift or choose one that someone else already has. Okay, so I brought you in the dining room. Is that too much? Oh well. I brought you in the dining room. We've got 6 of these. I have 7 grandchildren, but Doug could only find 6 of these gingerbread houses. The older one still said that they wanted to do it, so the little boy said, well, we'd rather just do it together, each of us work on it. So I said, okay. But it's got a little clock in it, it's got a little wreath, it's got a little lamp post, it's got a Santa Claus. I think these are going to be adorable. But my grandkids always make gingerbread houses after they get out of school. This is the last week of school. And after they get out, we take a day, we make our gingerbread houses, and we have a good time. And so I've got these out on the table. We hated there were only 6, but the boys said they didn't mind sharing, so that'll be good. So over there in the corner, I've got all my supplies for the party. I am using paper. It's grown so much. I always used my Christmas dishes before, but shoot, I thought I don't want to spend all my time doing washing dishes and putting them back out, and washing dishes and putting them back out, because I only have enough, for our family. So I thought, well, I'll just get some paper goods. So I did. And my vlog introduction the other day, you saw me lighting the Advent calendar. We do one for each Sunday. My tree over there, one of the trees in the corner. When we have a cold day and I like the fireplaces, I've got my mantle back here done, and we have a fireplace in our dining room. I'll light all the fireplaces and take you around the house, but we're supposed to, I think by Friday, start getting cold. So I'm very excited about that. One of my granddaughters and I went shopping yesterday. She needed some new jeans, and so she saw this little top. She said, Missy, I bet you would like that. And I said, I sure would. So I bought it. I have it on today. It's just a little thrift store that we have in town, but I thought this was cute. And I wanted to show you something that I did, and I will be right back. So I noticed my oldest granddaughter, I took her to school all semester, and I noticed on the way over, the sun would be coming up and stuff, and she was taking pictures of the landscape. So I told her, I said, why don't you choose one of the pictures and let me blow it up and frame it, and we will give it to your parents. You can give it to your parents for Christmas. And she said, oh, that would be wonderful. So we did. And I thought it turned out real well. She's got a good eye. So this is on our drive. It's hard to see. It looks much clearer and better in person. Her name and the date is in the corner, so of course I'm going to cover that up. This is the sun coming up, and this is a pond with a tree and a bench around it. And sometimes fog would be kind of coming up from the pond, but on this one, she saw that it was a clear day, and she loved the pinks. She loved that the landscape looked gray, she said, but the sun coming up looked pink. So, that is an idea for grandparents to do for their grandchildren. Have them take a picture or give you a picture, especially teenagers. They have pictures that are important to them. Have them give them one of your pictures, send it to you. You blow it up, and I did it at Walgreens, and frame it, and it will be just something that their parents will love because it comes from their children, and you've helped contribute to that. And it helps you to recognize the eye and the artistic ability of your grandchildren. So I thought I would point that out because she's very, very proud of it. So I made me some coffee, and my creamer, I didn't have my creamer that I like. So we had some eggnog. I put some eggnog in it. It's okay. It's drinkable, but I like my creamer better. But I thought, well, I guess you can always put eggnog in a coffee if you need to. Okay, I'm going to do the table, and I bought me some poinsettias. And of course, you know, you have to watch out, they say, with poinsettias with pets. So I put things up here so Oliver, he can't get up those steps anyway, he's too little, but I put things there to make sure he couldn't get up the steps. And I have been watering them, taking care of them. I'm not good with plants, but there's my poinsettias, and I am going to go ahead and put the tablecloth on the table, and we will get the table in here done. So this table, and the video I showed of my family, you know, when I was growing up, this was the table that was our kitchen table on the videos. Okay, I've got some like tangerines to put out now. I'm going to get some more fruit at the grocery. I love to decorate with fruit and have it sitting out, for one thing, for anybody that comes over to get a piece of fruit if they want to, especially the grandkids, instead of something sweet. But I'm going to get some more at the store today and finish this out, but I'll start with the tangerines that I have. Okay, I've got that done. Now, last night we took some of the grandkids to Cracker Barrel. I know most of you in this country know what a Cracker Barrel is, although you may not have one in your area. It started, I believe it started over in Lebanon, Tennessee, which is where I used to live, because that's the main office. And we used to go there, gosh, years and years ago, before it became a national chain, it seemed like. I think that's the beginning of it. But I've been going to Cracker Barrel for a long time. It's kind of spread throughout the country now. It used to be just kind of in the southeast. But they serve, you know, kind of country food, and they have a lot of they have a store there, and you can buy lots of stuff, and they have a lot of toys, and they'll do decorations like Christmas decorations and stuff like that you can buy, or you can buy homemade soaps and stuff like that, and then you can eat your meal. So we went to Cracker Barrel last night, so I'll show a little bit of Cracker Barrel. I forgot to tell you, you can also buy like old-time candy, like we used to have, an old-time gum, like the tea-berry gum or the licorice gum. You can buy all that stuff there at a Cracker Barrel too. So I'll show you a little bit of it. And Tennessee Titans stuff. Little, you know, kind of country things, you know. And sweaters. They always have sweaters. Yes.
We're not even allowed to leave the building. Oh, we're not?
They have all different kinds of old-fashioned candy and stuff. Reese's Santa. Okay, so what I have been doing is putting the museum putty around, not on the bottom, but around the edge here. So let me go get it, and I will show how I do this one that is leaning over. So I am going to put it around this edge here. Tear some off and start spreading it out like gum. Do a tiny bit more right here. it will fit in and sit up straight. Actually have to sit down now and do some office work and do some office taxes. Oh, that's always fun. Do the 15th of every month. And so I need to get that done and uploaded. And I don't know, I'll see how much footage I have. I don't know if this is enough to stop today and continue on tomorrow. I really have to wrap presents, and I have to figure out how much I have spent. Do I need to spend any more? Do I need to get some money for some of the kids? And you know, just get this final push over with. If I see some interesting presents as I'm wrapping them that I haven't shown before, then I will show you all what they look like. But I may be signing off for now. I don't know. If I am, then I will talk to you all tomorrow.